making all the people
Basically, a company called Medichecks contacted me, and what they do is they run blood tests for anything from like health reasons, fitness reasons, and like a load. Basically, they're just a company that does blood tests. And I thought it'd be cool to show you guys all my blood work and get my bloods done, just so you can have a look at it, see how much trend there really is in my blood, and yeah. Okay, this video isn't sponsored by them. Like, I contacted them, they're not paying me to do this. I do have an affiliate code, so if you guys want to do a similar thing, see what your blood work is like. If you take a fuckload of steroids, maybe you should get your blood work done as well. The only problem with this is that you have to take the blood yourself. I'm not like super scared of needles. I've had so much shit wrong with me. When I was younger, I used to be so scared of needles. Like, I used to be the kid that would like hide under the table and like bite the doctor and have to be held down by 17 nurses to get like their flu shots and stuff. And then because I've been in hospital so much, I've had literally hundreds of blood tests, hundreds of like things jabbed into me. So select a finger and use the alcohol wipe to clean it. Dry your fingers with clean tissue. Using the Lancelet. What really worries me is how like nice and innocent these things look. Like, oh, it's not a needle, and then it says there's a hidden needle inside. So is it like some massive fucking? I watched a documentary on heroin addicts last night, so I'm pretty experienced when it comes to handling needles and knowing what you're doing.
Do it.
It's gonna hurt.
Don't be a pussy. Press it down firmly on your finger.
I'm trying to see a needle. This is like the worst fucking surprise ever, because I know it's really gonna hurt.
Do it.
Alright, you can do one.
I don't want my blood tested.
Can you do it first to show me?
Literally doesn't hurt at all. You're being a baby.
Okay, I'll try it now.
Push it. Fucking hell. We've been here for half an hour.
I'm literally sweating.
Do it. Do it.
I'm so
it's really. I can do it. You can do it.
Oh, it's fine. This is gonna take fucking ages. This is gonna take so long. I've got 3 more of these to fill up. This is literally taking far too long. I reckon if I lay on the sofa with my legs up, I can't get any blood out. I've filled up 1, but I've got to fill up another 2. And I've only got 2 stabby things left. So I'm gonna lay like this to increase my blood pressure. Alright, so you're taking a different game plan. What I'm trying to do is make myself hot so the veins go to the surface of my skin, which... No! No! My fingers hurt. Every one of my fingers is gonna have a hole in it.
Whichever one feels right.
Approximately 10 hours later.
I literally thought that'd take 5 minutes before I went out the door. It probably took over an hour. Every single one of my fingers has holes in it and is in pain. I ran out of a stabbing thing so I wouldn't bleed, so I had to take one apart, take the scalpels out of every single one, then cut myself with the blades again inside. Every one of my fucking fingers really hurts right now, but we finally got the blood. I'm gonna put it in the yellow bag and then post it off to their labs. Well, this looks really natty. Can't wait to go to the post office for this. So I sent my bloods off the day before I got these results back. Like, these guys work super fast. I got all the results back within a day. I want to start by saying as well, I'm not a doctor. I haven't done like extensive stuff with bloods at all. I haven't really done anything with looking at blood results at all. So, although I've got a biological sciences degree, it's not to do with hematology. It's not to do with blood. I had to read up on a lot of this stuff. If you guys have any ideas why like a result may say a certain thing, let me know in the comment box down below and I'll be like super interested to get your kind of take on it. All right, let's get started. So, names up there, blah, blah, blah. Right, so red blood cells, everything there is normal. Hemoglobin is just a protein which carries the oxygen, which is found within red blood cells. All normal, as you guys can see here. White blood cells. Okay, so this is basically your immune system and involved in defending your body against diseases and pathogens. White blood cell counts within the normal range. That's kind of slightly upper of the normal range, but I'm guessing it could be due to like a variety of things. Neutrophils, a type of white blood cell, that's normal. Lymphocytes, okay, another type of white blood cell, and the normal range for those is 1.2 to 3.65, and I have 4.37. So maybe I have a type of infection or something, or a disease or something along those lines. Maybe I have a rare blood cancer. Who knows? But that's kind of weird that those are slightly elevated. A lot of you guys know that a few weeks ago I was very ill. It could have something to do with that, or I've kind of had a cold these last few weeks. But yeah, lymphocytes very slightly elevated. Reactive lymphocytes, normal, red blood cells, and platelets. So everything's all normal. That's all good. Clotting status, clumped. Yeah, you guys know why they're clumped, because it is so fucking difficult to get it out. Oh yeah, conveniently enough, when you get your results done and when you get your bloods done, a doctor will also look at the results and basically comment on anything that he thinks like needs to be commented about. So saying everything's normal, your white cells show signs of a recent viral infection. So he's probably talking about the lymphocytes there as well. And then if we go down to inflammation markers, CRP, which is C-reactive protein. So basically, this is like a marker or an indicator of inflammation or infection, I believe. And as you guys can see, the normal range is 0 to 5, and my CRP is at 4.5. So that's in the normal side, but it's kind of on the slightly higher normal side. Okay, now we'll get into kind of like the good juicy stuff. Kidney function, liver function, all that stuff. And then last but not least, we'll look at my hormones. Okay, so kidney function. If you guys look to the right, you'll see these ranges, and anything within that range is basically considered normal. So 6.6 is considered normal. Sodium, so salt, that is on the high side of things. I read that a value over 150 nanomoles per liter is considered high, and mine's just exceeding the normal high range. So that's probably due to dehydration. I do not drink enough water at all, and I do have a lot of sodium in my diet. So that's like a recipe for high sodium, I assume. Like I'm trying to guzzle down 3 liters a day, and I'm like struggling getting that. I probably drink about 1.5 to 2 liters a day, which is terrible. I should be drinking at least 3, like minimum for someone my size. That is slightly elevated, and it's going to probably make me a bit more water as well, retain a bit more fluid, just because I've got such high sodium in my blood. And that's not going to do my leg any favors either. To liver function, and this is where things kind of like start to get interesting. Let me give you a little biology hack right now. If a molecule has an A's at the end of the name, like phosphatase or transferase, there's a very good chance it's an enzyme. So A's means enzyme. So we know it's an enzyme. Alkaline phosphatase is basically involved in dephosphorylating things, removing phosphate groups from molecules, and it basically plays an essential role in the liver in terms of metabolism and stuff. So that is used as an indicator of liver function, and the normal range of that is 40 to 129. You guys can see I'm nice and healthy. And then we go down to the next one, which is alanine transferase, and the normal range for that is 10 to 50 international units per liter. And as you guys can see, I'm at a big fat 89.7. So I basically got 90, which is like 40 over the normal range. Right, if we go on the notes from my boy Dr. Sam Rogers, he has said, with an increased level of alanine transferase, this can indicate inflammation within the liver, which has many causes. Common ones include prescription medications, I'm not on any of those, heavy exercise, and recent infections. I've had a recent infection, and I am also doing heavy exercise a lot. So your other liver markers are normal, and creatine kinase suggests that this could be due to exercise. Cheers, bro. You got my back, Sam. Okay, so basically the alanine transferase and creatine kinase elevation are thought to be due to the amount of exercise I did. Like, it's kind of weird. I have to get like yearly medicals because I like to do commercial diving stuff. I really like to scuba dive. A lot of you guys probably won't know that, but I do commercial diving stuff, which means I have to have a medical every single year, which is like a pee test, a fitness test, a load of different tests on me. And the first one I had, they actually found trace amounts of blood in my pee, and they were like, oh, we found this, blah, blah, blah. It isn't like anything to be concerned with because it's only a tiny bit of blood we've detected, but it can be from your kidneys leaking out blood because you exercise so hard. I have excellent cholesterol. As you can see here, my boy Dr. Sam Rogers says your cholesterol is excellent with healthy levels of protective HDL cholesterol and normal levels of unhealthy LDL cholesterol. Okay, so hormones. This is where things get interesting. Okay, so FSH. Going back to like old school biology days in school class when you do about like all the hormones and reproductive cycle and stuff. This is probably the last time that I did this. FSH is basically a hormone that is commonly associated with women and periods and shit. In men, FSH is involved in the production and control of sperm, and the normal values are 1.5 to 12.4 international units per litre, and basically the higher these values are, kind of the worse they are for you. And luckily for me, I've got a value of 4.31. If your balls weren't working properly, or if you had testicles removed or something along those lines, or if you took steroids and then came off cycle and your balls weren't producing testosterone, you'd expect high levels of FSH. And then this is where the results start to get like kind of weird. So testosterone, I'm going to assume that's total testosterone. When testosterone enters the blood, it binds to something called sex hormone binding globulin. That's kind of a mouthful. Sex hormone binding globulin and testosterone basically bind together to form this compound, and when it's in that state, when the two are together, it can't be used for anabolic activity. This is what I read anyway. So basically, when testosterone is with sex hormone binding globulin, it doesn't contribute to building muscle or anything like that. And then we've got something called free testosterone. And free testosterone is basically testosterone that isn't bound to sex hormone binding globulin, and that is involved in anabolic activities, that is involved in helping you build muscle, etc, etc, etc. So if we look at testosterone, the normal range is 7.6 to 31.4 nanomoles a litre. I'm 16.6, which is within that normal range. If you go down to free testosterone, the normal range for this is kind of makes me sad, is 0.3 to 1 nanomoles a litre, and I'm at 0.282. I am below the bottom of the normal range for free testosterone. And as you guys know, free testosterone is the one that is involved in like muscle building and sex and all the cool shit that we love to do. Maybe it's because I'm a fake natty, and maybe it's because I've come off cycle and I took the blood tests when I wasn't on drugs. But then you would assume my FCH to be quite high and a few other things to be different. Overall testosterone isn't actually that low. It's only the testosterone that can be used, the important shit, that is low. So literally for the whole of summer, I have been dieting all summer as well, and if you're in a calorie deficit for any long period of time, if you get too lean, it can start to really mess with your hormones. So Student Aesthetics just did a video on this, but when like for example, when I did my comp prep, when I got like mega super shredded and lean and was in a big calorie deficit, I lost all sex drive. Like normally, like I'm fucking like I'm a machine. Like I'm just like literally, I'll look at like a piece of grass or a leaf on the floor and be like, "Whoa." And like when I got super shredded, like on the way to my contest prep, I had no sex drive. I could not get a boner. Like a girl could literally drop to her knees and put my dick in her mouth like that. That's how they do it. And put my dick in her mouth, and I would not get an erection because I had no sex drive just because my testosterone was so depressed from dieting. So maybe it's something to do with super low calories I've been on. Like around when I did this test, like a few weeks before, I wasn't really on super strict low calories. Like my diet was all over the place. I was having about 2,400 calories, which is very low for me, but that would average out higher because I was just eating shit when I was stressed and like basically binge eating food because I've just been like in a really shit place. But that's a story for another time. But once I get back in a calorie surplus, get some actual proper food in me for a few months, you can get your hormone levels back to normal, sort all your testosterone out. So I had to read up on this. Sex hormone binding globulin, that's on the high side of normal. So it measures the level of sex hormone binding globulin in your blood. Sex hormone binding globulin is a protein made by your liver. It binds tightly to 3 sex hormones found in both men and women. These hormones are estrogen, DHT, dihydrotestosterone, and testosterone. Sex hormone binding globulin carries these 3 hormones throughout your body and your blood. So my levels of that are fairly high, which is kind of a bit confusing considering the other results as well, I think, like having very low free testosterone, as sex hormone binding globulin are typically very low if you're obese or if you're injecting anabolic steroids. I've got here exogenous androgens, which are anabolic steroids, or abnormally high growth hormone levels. Luteinizing hormone. This is another one that if you did high school biology, you'll remember from the female menstrual cycle. But in men, it also has a lot to do with testosterone production in males. Like, I really want to see this. It's kind of a shame that this one did not go through. It's probably because my blood samples, you guys saw how shit it was. Basically, luteinizing hormone is involved in testosterone production. So your balls produce test, your brain detects the amount of test in your blood. If that becomes low, your brain sends a signal to your pituitary gland. I can never say that word. Pituitary. Let's just call it a pit gland. Your brain sends a signal to the pit gland, which then releases LH, which then in turn upregulates the amount of testosterone that your balls are producing and increases your testosterone levels. So if guys are taking steroids, for example, and they've got very high levels of testosterone inside them already, your brain will be like, oh shit, we need to stop making so much testosterone because it doesn't know that you're putting it in. It will send a signal to your pituitary gland that will reduce the amount of LH it's producing in an attempt to lower testosterone, but obviously you're jabbing it in you, so it's not going to get any lower. Your balls will just stop making it altogether. That's kind of why when people take shit and then they stop taking shit because they have to, they don't have any testosterone. They have the testosterone levels of a 9-year-old girl because they've like basically completely shut down their natural test production. But that would have been really cool just because it would have kind of probably explained, it probably would have helped explain the other results we have on the screen. But what can you do, eh? So it was just a super interesting thing to do, and I thought was kind of, I was curious to see how fucked or where my hormone levels are at after cutting all summer. If you guys want to know why I don't take steroids or like why I can't because of my leg, go onto my transformation video, click on the top comment, which I've written, and then go and basically just read through it. It just basically explains that anything that affects blood pressure, rapid tissue growth, immune system, anything like that is going to completely fuck my legs. So unfortunately for me, I can't become a big juicy motherfucker. But like, it's kind of good because I think if I could, I'm not going to bullshit you and say, oh no, I never would do that shit. I probably would. Kind of glad that like I've had the problems I have had with my leg that have made me think about things or reconsider things twice and put me on like a different path to how I could have gone down if I didn't have the problems I did. Do you know what I mean? So like a bad problem has probably resulted in a positive outcome from my life, because I probably would have, if I could have taken shit, I could have got cancer, I could have got really fucking ill. And another reason I don't take stuff is I can guarantee you, if I took fucking steroids, within a few months, I'd be spotty, I would be bald, and I would probably stop producing. I would have like the worst ever side effects from it. Like, as you guys can see, I have like a few spots on my back, which isn't bad. I would definitely go bald if I took steroids, so I'd be fucked, and I'm not down for that. I felt so awkward making this video. I really need to vlog more just because I can't speak to a freaking camera anymore. Like, I used to be able to, when I get into it, I'm good, but I just felt, I don't know, it just feels a bit shit. So I will make more videos to get better at it, I promise. But anyway, VQ Fit link in the description down below. That's basically these boys, these clothes, directly supports me. All my training programs are in there as well. Cutting guide if you want to fuck up your natural testosterone like I have, because you want to get shredded, because you're a natural athlete and you want to get shredded, because being shredded is shit for gains. Shredding guide is down below as well. Musclefood is down there as well, which is basically where I get all my meat from, keeps me fed. And almost knocked the laptop off. And then my sub sponsor, BPI, is in the description below as well. But anyway, guys, keep killing it. I'm gonna have some sick content coming very soon. Let me know what you want to see, and peace out.